Hello friends, welcome back to the tutorial. Today we will be discussing about the background image. As we know that the background image is one of the important concept for designing your web page, and everywhere we need to use image as a background. But the only thing which we need to take care of that the background image having a text onto the image. So we need to take care of that. The background image color and the text color should be different, or you need to add an additional layer onto the image so your text will be visible. So let us start. So I have created one folder background image, so I'll open that folder on the VS Code, and once you open the folder you need some images. So I have copied these four images into the directory. I'll show you what are those images are. So you can see that I have these four images downloaded from the Unsplash website, and with the help of this image we will try to learn how to use background as an image. So let us create two files. One is your index.html, index.html, and second file as style.css. In your HTML write your HTML code and give a title to the page as background image, and create one division. Before that you need to link with the CSS, so link CSS style.css. Okay, then create one division with class and name that class as a box1, and write some properties for this box1. So let's say inside the style.css I'll open it into the side so that I can write in the both files simultaneously, and here you can write the dot box1, and the first property which I want to use a height of around 700 pixels, and you can use a background color for visibility yellow. And let us check your output whether you have set up all the things correctly or not. So open with live server and check your output that you are getting a color yellow. Fine. One more thing which we have added in all the previous video, that star margin as 0 so that it will remove all the gaps from all the sides. Okay. Now let us add a image as a background. So we don't want this background color, and now you can use a background image. This is the property name which is available in your CSS. So you are applying background image to the box1. So along with this property the value should be a function, that is URL, and inside this URL you have to write the path in single quotes. So we have copied all the images in the same directory, so you can directly use the name of any of the image. So here in this case I want to use a image, for example image2.jpg. This is the image I want to use as a background. So let us save this and come back to your output, and you can see that you are getting a blue color as a background image. But if you look at your original image, that is image2, so this is our original image. You can see that we are only getting this much portion of the image onto our division because division size is smaller than the image size. So what you need to do, you need to fit this image into your division. So how to do that? It is very simple. So along with this you need to add one more property, that is background size as cover. The value is cover. Now save this and again come back and check your output. Now the images fit into your division. For better understanding, I'll just reduce the height of my division as a 600 pixels, and now you can see the images fit, but the lower portion of the image is not visible. You can see that this is the lower portion. So what I want to do, I want to map the center of my image. This is this section which I have selected is the center of my image. It should be mapped with my division so that this lady should appear at the center of my division, and the remaining image should be cropped from all the four sides. So how to do that? So for that you need to add one more property, and that property name is background position as center. So what is the meaning of this line? This line, it means that the center of your image, background image, is mapped with the center of your division. And let us check your output. Now you can see that the face of that lady, which is the center of your original image, is mapped with the division, and this much portion is visible onto your screen. It means that the remaining section is cropped but from all the four sides, keeping center location as your primary location for your background. So this is one of the important property. Now let us add few more properties. What happen? Suppose you want to add a text onto the image. So here inside the box one, I'll create one division with class. I'll write that class name as my heading, and inside this my heading division, I'll create one h1 and write some like travel the word. This is the random text I'm using, and one normal paragraph with some random 10 characters. Okay, and let us check our output. So you can see that by default it is appearing at the left top corner. Now I want to show this text exactly at the center of my screen. So let us try to add some properties to this my heading and use that my heading, and I want a text alignment should be center. Okay, so it is appearing at the center location here, but I want to make it center of my division. So you need to use the position property which we have learned in the last video. So here to the parent, the box one is the parent for the my heading, so use position as relative, and the children is my heading, so use position as absolute so that it will remain inside that division. Then from the left hand side I want a 50% of the gap, and from the top again I want a 50% of the gap, and to make it exactly center you need to use transform, translate, minus 50% and minus 50%. To make it more easy to understand, use a background color as red so that you can easily visualize it. So now you can see that this is the text which we have kept exactly at the center of our division. But now if I remove that background and if you try to read the text, you can see that the text is not much visible on the face of that lady, because the hair color may be matching with, or the shadows are matching with our text, so we are not able to read all the text easily. So what we can do, we can add an additional layer onto this image or make the color of the font as a white. So you can try to change the color of the font as white. So you have changed it now to the white, save it, check your output, but still you are not able to read all the content. So now I want to add the gradient onto this background image. So how to add a gradient? So it is very simple. You need to check your background property, that is background image. So now I don't want background image completely. I want a linear grading along with the background image. So what you need to do, you need to remove this image. So the property which you have to use is only background colon, keep URL as a second parameter, so put comma here, and here you need to add your linear gradient, and we have learned the linear gradient in previous video. So linear gradient, and here you need to pass two colors, but color should be transparent, then only we can see the image. So I want to use a function that RGB, and here I'll use a black color, for example 0 comma 0 comma 0, it will represent the black color, comma, second color is also black color, I want to use RGB 0 comma 0 comma 0, and let us check your output what will happen. So you can see that you are getting a black color onto the image, but image is not visible. So what I want to do, I want to make this black color as a transparent. So it is very simple. So instead of using RGB function, use RGBA is a function and add fourth parameter as a transparency level. So here I'll use the 0.5. Remember, transparency level is always start from 0 to 1. So you need to use a value. 0 means complete transparent, 1 means a solid. So I want in between them, so I have used 0.5. So you can see that the image is transparent. The black color is there, but that color is transparent at the top and solid at the bottom. So you can use at the both color 0.5 as a transparent level, so it will remain evenly transparent throughout the image. Now you can see that it looks better than the previous output. I can read my text easily. And now just try to decorate this text. So here what I want to do, I want to change the font family as sans serif. I'll keep it simple. And here we'll write some properties for each heading, that is h1 from the my heading. Here change the font size as around suppose 80 pixels. check check your output. Okay, it looks good. And I want to change the font weight as 100. Let us check. Okay, it's fine now. And you can apply the same properties my heading to the paragraph as well. I want a font size same, but font weight should be changed as 100 pixel, sorry 100, and check. Okay, now it is looking good. So I can read my content, and also I have kept it at a right position. Now if you change the image, what will happen? Suppose instead of image 1 I want to use image 3, and let us check what will happen. So the layer is also applicable on that image, and you can easily read your text. If you remove this linear gradient and check what will happen, the text is not much readable. So that's why you need to use a linear gradient along with the image, so that you will get a layer onto the image and your content will be more visible. Now there is one more interesting property. So to make it more easy to understand, I'll create a three more boxes. 1, 2. So this is my suppose box 2, and this is my box 3. And for each box I need to create a different background. So for this image I'll use the background 2. I'll For the box 2 I want to use background image as 3, and for the box 3 I want to use the image 4 as a background image. Now let us save this and check your output. So this is my first division with the background with 3 ladies, second division with the background of mountains, and the third image is with the background of ocean with same text. Okay, now if you scroll the page you can see that the content as well as the background image is moving upward. The same for the second division and same for the third division. But we don't want to do that. To make it more attractive and more beautiful, there is a one more property. So inside of box 1 here I'll write one property that is called as background attachment, this one. So background attachment you have to write the value as fixed, and let us check your output. So what will happen when you apply the background fixed? So you can see your text is scrollable but not the image. The image with the 3 ladies is remain fixed, and your content is scrollable. But now the second image is coming up with the content. So I want to apply the same property for the second division as well. So I'll just copy it. I'll put it into the box 2 as well as in the box 3. So I don't want to move any image. I just want to move my content only. So reload your page and check your output. Now the only text is visible and image is remaining at its own place, and it is creating an additional effect to your page. I like it very much personally. So if you also like it, you can try to use it. So this is it for the background image and the linear gradient along with the background image. So let us try this much, and we'll see you in the next video.